Hello, and let's go over the gradient curve atlas. It's a bit hard to explain this one for me, but here goes. I got this ice color band, which has 32 colors, and all kinds of gradients on each column. And I can apply that to a mesh. So this is an example mesh. Let me just preview the normal map, or the red channel of this texture. You can use the green channel of the normal map, and plug that into this texture. I get something like this, though a better one might be just a gradient from this texture. As you can see, this looks quite ugly, so let me tweak that value a little bit. I'm going to go from the beginning to the end of the row, and I'm going to pick another column. I know that the first one actually looks rather well, so now I pick the first row from beginning to end. Note that there are 32 columns. If you have 64, you can change that value, of course, but in this case, I know that there are 32. You can still tweak this value a little bit, so you get something that you might like a little bit better, though as you can see, the amount of gradient that you'll have is getting lower and lower. Generally, 0 is fine, but with a debug time sign, you can basically find quickly if there's anything that you might like. I'm not going to go over it too much because you'll need to play with it yourself to really get the thing. With this, I can tweak the columns. So this is the 4th column, the 5th one, 6th one, 12th one, and let me remove the debug time sign real quick. And we'll apply a gradient to it all. Oh, there are only 32, no, 31. That one isn't that good looking. Let's try another one. There. So that's the part for meshes. It basically just gets the gradient like this, uses that same gradient from black to white information to apply the different gradient color from this row that you picked over here, in this case row 17, applies that to that gradient, and you'll get the nice color effect. Okay, so that's that for meshes. Let's do one for sprites. I'm gonna grab a sprite, and there, and I'm gonna plug that into the grayscale output. I'm gonna remove this real quick. So this is actually still the same ice color band that I created, and now I can change the different gradient from the rows. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, etc. And it might be better if I actually use that same texture real quick for opacity. So I'm going to make this a translucent. I'm not going to preview this anymore. Me and my OCD with wires. And there. And let's pick another column. So the 4th one, 5th one, 6th one, until you get something that you like. And obviously you can tweak this value now. Order 1, order 2. And slowly you can see it change a little bit. Again, the debug time sign helps me showcase this a little bit better. And now it's scrolling to that horizontal gradient. And this gives some nice results. You can play around with it. There's quite some use cases for this. In this case, if I want to have like multiple colors with the same kind of sprite, it might be cheaper to get a sprite, a color band, and play around with those colors. Okay, I think that's it for now. This should explain it somewhat well, and apologies for being a bit obtuse, but I know how to use this one by heart, but not how to explain it properly.